All right, welcome once again. We're back to the Shafiq Physique Podcast, episode number 3. The episode title of this episode is Spiritual Warfare. Spiritual Warfare. Once again, man, my name is Shafiq. Y'all know me very well. We're here again. We got a couple new guests, a couple new faces, especially my brother right here, Troy. And then we also have my brother Corey joining us for today. He'll be with us moving forward as well as we continue on this journey talking about these interesting topics. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that people don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're going to have fun while we're doing it. So, as you all know, my name is Shafiq. You can find me on Instagram, tag Shafiq Physique. Also on TikTok, Shafiq Physique. And on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we welcome all the comments. Join us in the conversation. We want to hear what y'all got to say too, you know. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. You can find us on Shafiq_Physique. So we're going to go ahead and start off. To our right here, we got our new face, our brother Troy. He's going to go ahead and introduce himself.
Hey, appreciate you having me, man. For real, that's love.
Absolutely, man.
So I go by Troy. I'm from Miami originally. Y'all can find me at Troy from Dade on all platforms, at YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. I'm a tattoo artist, and I'm excited to be here, though. I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. Thanks for coming out and joining us with this conversation.
Yeah, y'all know me. I'm Joel. Y'all can find me on all platforms. Hans Maximus. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Hans Maximus, HAHNSMAXIMUS. You can look forward to hearing me in Hans' house. That's my other podcast that I'll be doing. And I'm looking forward to having these good conversations, man.
Thank you, Corey.
Well, I'm Corey, and you can find me on Instagram at big_Raguski. And I just like what we're coming with today as continuing of the last time. But this is a very important subject, and it's got to be brought out, man. Like, it's just something that people got to understand. This is what's going on in the world. And I just thank you for having me again, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're glad to have you, man. And look, y'all can see we got the food out here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with it, man. You know, we did some grilling earlier. Brother Joel helped us out on the grill. You know what I'm saying? He said he was the master at it, and he did a really splendid job, so we do appreciate that. So we're going to be eating a little bit while we're talking, you know what I mean, if y'all don't mind. But for the most part, we've been talking about a couple things. We've been talking about homelessness. It's a big issue growing in Gwinnett County, also in Georgia. We've been talking about addiction and how that has played a pivotal role in our societies. We've also been talking a lot about domestic violence abuse. Domestic violence abuse is plaguing our communities, destroying our families. And we know a lot of this stuff is by design. You know, there's no question about it. So we're going to shed light on a lot of these things and try to eliminate the stigma. Our first episode, we talked a lot about the homelessness, and we canvassed the community. We got a chance to talk to a lot of people. So we will be having that content coming for you throughout this video, so you can check that out. See what the people got to say about what we're talking about. But for today, we have a very interesting question that we want to pose, because it seems as though when it comes to this topic, a lot of people have a lot of misconception. You know what I mean? Like, you hear it all the time. Stay woke. Stay woke. You know what I mean? And I honestly don't think a lot of people in our communities, especially in the black community, understands what this means. Because you have a lot of people who are saying stay woke, but they themselves, they're not woke, right? They in the darkness. They sleep, for real. And they doing a lot of reckless stuff. And then at the same time, they're not taking the efforts to do some of the things that we're doing like right now to contribute to the community. So if you're not helping to solve the problem, you're part of the problem. I'm just gonna say that first and foremost.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's my take on that whole introduction into the question. But I do want to see what you guys have to say about this. Those of you who are watching, you're also welcome to leave the comments. We really want the comments. We want to know what you got to say about this, because it's a very interesting topic. So I'm going to start off with you, Corey. I know you have a lot of interesting things to say. You're very vocal, and we do appreciate that. So when it comes to this topic right here, you hear people say, stay woke. We woke, stay woke. My question to you and to everybody here is, what does that mean to you? And is religion allowed in that conversation?
Well, I would have to say yes, because first of all, the way that I see things, that is you got to start from somewhere. The seed got to be planted. And just knowing that with religion, that's the start of a seed. And it has different levels to it. Like, you might not be all the way woke, but you can start to be getting woke by understanding that God have a level for you to reach. And you might have to go through this channel right here because I have been a kind of study of different religions and stuff like that, though. I have nothing against no religion at all, because everything is created by God for His certain purposes. You know what I'm saying? You might start off and believe in this, and then God will awaken you to another level of consciousness, so now you go to this.
Right.
So it's just the way that you have to understand how the way things are made. And just like you said, like, it's a lot of people that really ain't woke, because it's spirits out here, and we walk among demons, and people don't know that. And that's the part where I feel like a lot of people are lost, and a lot of people don't even know what's really going on.
Okay, so when you say a lot of people don't really know what's going on?
It's a lot of things that we entertain, we consume by some of the stuff that we may watch, or some of the stuff that we entertain, and it's the self-conscious thing that some things it demonizes us, but we don't do it by knowingly doing it, but what we are entertaining or what we are allowing to just, you know, feed into, it be demonized, bro. Like,
Okay, so I'm going to say this, right? Anybody here ever read the book Behold a Pale Horse?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you know what I'm talking about, viewers out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. This book was written by I believe his name was William Cooper, right? He was in the Navy, and he had high security clearance, and he was privy to a lot of information in the military, and they tried to silence him. And he wasn't comfortable with some of the things that they tried to silence him about. So he wrote a book exposing a lot of the, secret warfare that the United States government is putting on the citizens of the country. Right. And one of the things that he talked about was the fact that this concept of a silent war. There's a silent war going on. And I would like to think this is what you're talking about, where the television is really a weapon. It's being used as a weapon. I mean, if you think about it, when you're watching TV, right? There's nothing else going into your brain except for what you're receiving from the television.
Program.
You're being programmed. And very few people are sitting there having their own random thoughts as they're watching television, or you wouldn't be able to focus. So you're really just you're really eating whatever the television is feeding you. And if you watch the same type of stuff long enough, or you listen to the same type of stuff long enough, this is what you'll start doing.
Conforming to their ideology.
Right? And this is a lot about what we're talking about. When we talk about staying woke, are you awoke? Are you aware of what's happening to you? Or are you just part of the sheep and cattle who are part of the system that's being brainwashed and weaponized? Right? Mm-hmm. Joel.
Well, you know me, I always have an abstract outlook on things. And to a certain degree, I'm a fan of people not being woke. I say that to say this. To whom much is given, much is expected. So, and required. So, everybody don't have the propensity to handle being woke. When you have cattle, you got the shepherd who's guiding them, he's woke. The rest of the cattle is not woke. They just going along with the flow. And in the natural order of life, in world's or the universe order, that works perfectly. And I liken that to the mentality of humans. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't need to be woke. You know what I mean? My problem is, like you said, the people who think they woke, but they're not woke. There's nothing wrong with you not trying to change the world, right? By you going and being an average regular person, because somebody needs to do the average regular things. You know what I mean? I feel like the people that's woke, the people that's really woke, that's a real responsibility that comes with that. If you've ever been in a situation where, you start to see the intricate details in the inside workings of things, and it's like a real serious situation, it kind of gives you a little trepidation. You're like, whoa, this is a little more real than I thought it was. So, would you want somebody who don't have the wherewithal to handle that, or to push the needle in the right direction, having that knowledge? They say knowledge in the hands of a fool is dangerous. You know what I mean? So I feel like being woke is a job. it's a responsibility. It's a lifestyle that everybody ain't cut for. That's why the guy in the Matrix told him, hold up, there's nothing wrong with this other pill, man. You can take this blue pill. The mass majority of the people in the world, they don't take this blue pill. But when you do take this red pill.
So here's my thing. So what you're saying is you agree with the concept of ignorance is bliss,
I do.
essentially.
I do.
Okay, so now with that being said, now I gotta ask this question, right? You are aware that those who are not woke are being oppressed.
It's called on how you look at it.
I'm telling you how I look at it, right? if you're not woke, because the people who are perpetrating the oppression are deliberately designing it in the way that they're designing it, right? For example, let's have a conversation real quick. Let's quickly take it to a detour. Troy, we'll come back to you for the question.
Yeah.
Right? But let's take a quick detour in the concept of slavery, right? Because, again, we want to be woke, right?
Right.
Slavery was never abolished. I'm gonna jump out there and say that. We believe that we've been freed as black people, right? Slavery was never abolished, and I'm gonna tell you how. Because they don't even hide it. When you look in the Constitution, right? What amendment was it that abolished slavery?
14.
The 14th Amendment, right? Slavery is hereby abolished. However, there's an exception clause. Do we know what this exception clause is?
Unless you've been convicted of a crime.
Unless you be convicted of a crime. So in all actuality, slavery is prison.
Right.
Because what they did was essentially they went from private sector ownership, plantations, right, where the master had his own chattel,
Right.
to public sector ownership, public institutions of slavery.
Now, I
So-
got a pushback.
Okay, I'm interested to hear it.
You know how you get oppressed? When you desire to do something and you have the wherewithal to do it, and the forces that are in place stop you from doing that. My point is, those that do not have the desire nor the wherewithal to do said things, they're not being oppressed. They're being carried. Society is carrying those people. A lot of people like to talk about people that's on welfare, and they don't feel oppressed at all. They feel very comfortable receiving their stipends. They feel very comfortable receiving their benefits. And if you say anything to them about getting a job or getting an education, they gonna turn on you. They ain't gonna want that. They're not being oppressed. The ones that are being oppressed, like you say, the guys in prison, you know what I mean? So two things can be true. You feel me? Like, yeah, those guys, they're being oppressed. And slavery has been transfigured into a different entity. But my point is, those that don't want to be woke, let's not force them to be woke. Let's let them stay asleep. I got a rap, and in my rap, I say, if you sleep, stay asleep. Because I don't want you nowhere next to me. See, I'm a product of a whole nother destiny. You're not. I am. And I will be bereft of my destiny to try to drag you along with me. Just knowing, just imagine this. We going on the front line, right? We going to war. And somebody say, man, everybody need to come and let's go fight. Are you going to go pick those people that you know can't fight, that you know not going to shoot, that you know going to drop that gun and run? Or are you going to go and pick the people that you know got the wherewithal to, in the steadfast mentality to endure under these circumstances? That's my point. When you want to be woke, you want that challenge. You want to take on what society is saying is what needs to be done. You don't want to get carried. You don't want nobody that you got to lean on them and, man, please be there for me. You don't care if nobody there for you because you woke now. You know that if you don't do it, it don't get done. You know what I mean? And it's not, you know, those that can't cut the mustard. You know what I mean? And that's my thing. If you can't cut the mustard, I ain't got no problem with you not even trying to catch up.
Okay,
You
so
know what I mean?
so now I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate, right? I believe in what you're saying, to a certain extent. I believe that you can't save everybody, right? And some people don't want to be saved. Even when you look back at slavery, some of the slaves, when it was time to get freed, they were looking at you like, hey, what you doing? Right? Master treat me good. You know, because it's that fear of the unknown.
Right.
So they would rather be okay with the devil that they know than the angel that they don't know. So with based upon that concept, you can't save everybody. Everybody don't even want to be saved. However, I do believe that everyone has the right to have a choice. That's the problem here. And I feel as though when you're not woke and you're not aware of the oppression, you're not even aware of the fact of whether you should have a choice. It's like the caste system in India, right? These individuals are born into a certain class, and they believe that this is all they will ever be. They don't have they don't even deserve the right to even have a dream or a hope of becoming someone in the presidential palace.
Right. But you're not aware until you are aware.
Right.
Like you said, you might get into a religion, and you've been riding this religion because this is what you've been taught. This is what's been indoctrinated into your mind. This is what's been programmed into your psyche, and you experience different.
And I just don't believe that everybody has a choice. Troy, we want to get your take on this question. What is your belief in the concept of being woke? How do you perceive it? And then is religion allowed in that conversation?
I feel like religion definitely is allowed, but as far as being woke, I feel like it's levels to it. Like a lot of things such as TikTok will make people think they woke because you might scroll that 3 a.m. video or whatever, and it's like, oh, did you know this? Did you know that? And that's where they getting a full source of information from. So okay, you already at a certain level. Your highest threshold, that's TikTok. Are you really reading? Are you really studying? Are you talking and politicking with other people with similar ideologies? Are you looking into other references? So I definitely feel like it's levels to being woke, and there's a reason why there is levels. It's a few out of the many. Everybody, if you believe in God or not, everybody ain't going up, and that's for a reason. There's a reason there are kings, there's queens, there's people underneath, and it's definitely levels to it. Some people can't handle the absolute truth, which is why in the military there's different clearances. You might be great, you might be secret, but you're not top secret worthy. So everybody got to play their role.
I think that was a good point you just made as far as having good talent,
Yeah.
good quality, but you're just not.
Yeah, for sure. You can understand half of what I tell you, but if you're not at a certain level that I'm at, or a certain level of anybody else, it's just gonna be gibberish. It's nonsense. Anything you hear. So there's definitely some people that are woke, and I don't feel like they're crazy. There's just people you never be able to understand without certain experiences, without certain learning. You know what I mean? So, but religion definitely, I feel like, plays a part in it. And out of all the different books, different religions, there's always gonna be a good chunk of it that's some type of similarity, which I feel like is some truth in it. You know what I mean? Right. I don't even speak the language you speak, but we both talking about the same thing. We describing the same person. Might be a different name, but you know what I mean? It's definitely something to talk about. Definitely a good topic. Would you agree about with some of the stuff I said? Kind of how you feel about it?
Yeah, well, you see, I'm shaking my head over here, right? Because you're making some good points. I believe that individuals are of different degrees. This is understandable. This is inevitably true. And at the same time, I'd rather have someone, and I was told this recently, I'd rather have someone who has half the talent that you have if I know he's dependable.
100%.
Right? You might have all the talent in the world, but if I can't depend on you, if I can't trust you, right, then I don't want you. You know, and then that example that you gave about the top secret clearance, I think that goes down to the trust thing, and the quality of the individual you're dealing with. This guy can do it all, but we can't trust him in top secret clearance. Right? And this is why so much vetting that's involved in receiving top secret clearance. So I think that was a really great point that you made.
Appreciate that.
You know something else I think about being woke and the thing about religion? You gotta look at it like this. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So, and that speaks to the point that he made and the point that he made. All of the things that we had, we talked about this on the way here, was already here. Leonardo da Vinci had sketches of helicopters in the Renaissance days. However, like we said, the resources weren't developed to the point to where it can be manifested, right? So even God knew that you can be woke, but I can't let you be all the way woke right now. You have to, just like you said, you got to be level and the world has to evolve. People have to evolve. Like, you wouldn't take a kid and tell them to go do some grown-up stuff. You in elementary school, look, I want you to, even though it's made back in the day, you know, they was doing similar things because the demand of life was a lot on a smaller level, smaller scale. But you wouldn't take an elementary kid and be like, look, I want you to start working now and take care of this 4-bedroom house and this car note and this insurance and all of these things, because he's not there. He can be a very, very alert young cop. He could be very, very ahead of his time and all, but he's not ready for that. And a lot of people, just because I say they not woke, that don't mean you're never gonna be woke. You know what I mean? You're not gonna take a white belt and make him fight a black belt fighter. You know what I mean? So I think that the natural order of life, it awakens people, but everybody moves at their own speed and their own level. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
can
mean?
agree to that. That make me instantly think about, if I get in some trouble, you calling your barber to be your lawyer? No, it's levels to it. He's not qualified. That ain't even his realm. He got his own area, his own, space. I'm gonna call the person that's fit for a certain job, which is why even being really woke, certain information, I'm gonna tell a certain person. A lot of people couldn't handle the truth of, like you were saying, like different like secret wars going on, stuff like that. Man, most people cut the news on, they start tripping when they find out any little thing going on, just let alone politics or whatever it is. So imagine I give you some real information. How you gonna handle that?
That's right, and
You know
that's
what I'm
exactly like me being 25 years ago. I wouldn't have been able to take the stuff that I know now, bro. It would destroy me at a younger age. But I have went through so many things in life to get a certain point in life till I said, okay, I can handle whatever come my way now. Like me not, I'm not no longer blind to this. I went through certain things for God to show me certain things. So I wasn't ready for that level 25 years ago. My mind couldn't fathom this stuff. But now, God has strengthened me in so many different ways and to my spirituality. So like, I'm ready for whatever. Here. And through my spirit. Because at the end of the day, I know who's carrying me. And who's giving me the vision that he's giving me for what purpose.
It reminds me of that movie, A Few Good. Now, is it A Few Good Men when Jack Nicholson say, Jack Nicholson, he says, you can't handle the truth. A lot of people stop right there. That's a lot of people's favorite line in the movie. But my favorite line is everything he say after that. He break it down to how he lived his life in a manner that you're not ready for, and how these people that sleep right across the way from him are trained to kill him. And he not only do he live in that reality, he also live in the reality that he goes out there, put his life on the line every day to provide a freedom to people that question the manner in which he do it.
Okay, so you said a few good men is
Yeah.
the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay, for the viewers right there, if he's right, leave a comment and let me know if he's right. I got $5 for you right now on Cash App. Say your Cash App.
Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson.
Okay, Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson. Is he right? Does he know what he's talking about? Okay, so there's a two-part fold to this question, right? Because we've had some events that's happened in the community, in the world, some very critical events. Especially right now, there's a lot of things going on. Trump's getting ready to go to war with Venezuela, it looks like. They blowing up boats all over the place, talking about his drugs on the boat. Obviously the Russia and Ukraine war is ongoing, and then Israel's slaughtering Palestine. So I just want to say now, with what we've said, I'm going to add a little bit to what he said, right? Because he mentioned how, are they ready to be woke, or are they ready to receive the information? I can remember Malcolm X was told by Elijah Muhammad, right? Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Nation of Islam, the so-called Nation of Islam, but I do agree with some of their views. Now, he told him, because, Malcolm X was very excited. He was giving off a lot of stuff, right? And he told him, he said, hey, slow down. You can't give it all to them at once, or they're going to run away. They're not going to be able to take it. And I do believe in that idea of gradual, information being released instead of giving it to them all at one time. Because in some societies, you give it to them all at one time, they're gonna run away, and they're gonna also see you as an enemy. My father God rest his soul, right? He was on dialysis before he passed away. And I can remember he told me he wanted to die in Liberia, right? And I told him, I said, well, why can't you just go? Like, if that's where you want to die, go. I ain't gonna be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I can't go because they don't have dialysis over there. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So why don't we try to see if we can invent it over there? And we could make a ton of money over there. And he laughed at me. He said, man, you can't put that kind of stuff over there. He said, man, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Those people gonna think you trying to do some type of juju witchcraft on them. Right? He said, because my people are very stuck in their ways. You come over there with something new, something foreign, they see it as something bad. So here's the second part of the question, and we're going to start with you, Joel, this time. So obviously we know Charlie Kirk was assassinated, right? Yeah. This is happening all over the news, or every outlet you can imagine. They talk about this assassination, right? And we know it was a Caucasian, not a black man, that did it. Okay, and you might say, well, what's the point of that? It's very important considering the things that he spoke about when he was alive. But we also know that he was assassinated, and some people are saying there's a conspiracy behind it. Right? I've seen videos talking about, they're probably trying to spark some type of violence because there's a lot of protesting going on, especially from the far right community, the young conservative community, saying, because they have aspirations, he was going to be the next president, this and that, you know what I mean? And then he's gone now. So that's sparking up a lot of tension in that direction. So Charlie Kirk got assassinated. What is your take on Charlie Kirk being assassinated? And also, what is your take on the religious side coming into this conversation? We talk about Palestine and Israel. And, is biblical things occurring? Let's talk about this. Are we seeing biblical things? Because we've seen it in the community, and we've heard people talking about it, that biblical things are being manifested through this war. Do you see those things? And how does that apply to this concept of being woke? Is it okay to be woke to it? Should we all be aware of what's really going on in the whole Charlie Kirk situation? Joel.
Okay, first of all, I want to clarify that when you spoke on Charlie Kirk being assassinated, I started smiling. That was not because he got assassinated. It was because I knew you was going to come here. I said it's too hot of a topic for you not to get. So that smile was for that, just to let the people know I'm not smiling because he was assassinated. But to be honest, it reminded me of a clip from Dave Chappelle's show. And that's another thing that made me laugh. Keeping it real goes too far.
Oh, I remember that. That was funny, man.
And I'm not saying what he's saying is John, Tom, Hank, whoever real. That was his real. He was keeping it his real, but it was what was real to him. And it went too far. You know what I mean? So by that I mean this. What you say, what you feel, and what is your outlook on life, you can't push that on nobody else. And a lot of people like to, get out and we were just talking about this a minute ago. When you're talking about certain subjects and certain points, there's a category millions of people fall under that same topic that you're talking about. You might just be talking to John, you might just be talking to Sarah, but it's millions of Johns and there's millions, maybe even billions of these people who have some type of semblance going on in their life to what you're talking about. So you're offending a lot of people. And that goes to being woke, but not woke on that level. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people who, what we like to call these days, antagonists. Those people know they're antagonists. Those people got security. You're not gonna be close to them. They're gonna canvass the area before the presidents and stuff, they know to a certain degree they antagonists. They creating situations that end up in war and things like this. So this whole area is gonna be canvassed. You know what I mean? And I just feel like he was woke in certain areas and he wasn't woke in other areas. You gotta know that you just from reading your comments, the man was getting death threats already. So you got to know that people very seriously oppose what you're saying to the point that they ready to do something to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if you're going to keep on rocking like that, you got to be ready. And I'm not condoning nothing that happened, but I'm just saying, me personally, if I'm going to be to that point where I'm up and up every level. I'm not going to these college campuses doing that like that no more. I don't know what the financial ramifications of what he was doing was, but I just feel like maybe he didn't know how imminent of a threat he was under by becoming this big time personality. He had gotten so big. I remember when I first saw him, I was just like, look at this guy. He just going at everybody, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And not only did he himself get bigger, that whole movement of let me go out and just tell everybody about their ass.
Yeah, the conservative youth.
Yeah,
is what
it just got so big. Now you got panels and you got people going from colleges and they having conferences and they just spewing their ideology among people and shutting them down. And not only that, they giving these people limited time to, matriculate their perspective. So now you got 45 seconds, 1 minute, ping, shut up, let's go, get out of here. Next person, I didn't even really get a chance to. Some people fumble over their words, and I seen clips of the guy who killed them. He was trying to get it out, and Charlie Clips very.
Oh, so you're saying the guy who assassinated him actually spoke to him before?
Yeah,
Okay.
he spoke to him, and Charlie Kirk shut him down, told him he a fool and all that and everything. And Charlie Kirk is extremely eloquent, and he's a master with his words. And this guy wasn't. And the guy tripping over what he's saying, and he wasn't being felt, and the crowd was going. And he went to his father and told his father the dude went too far. I don't know if those guys took him serious. I know they didn't because nobody did nothing, but he told him he took it too far. And he made it his mission to get him. You know what I mean? But I feel like I read in the book, you don't change people's mind by arguing with them. You shut up and you show them. And you take hold of a higher plane. And the only way for them to get where you at is to give up that lower plane. And if they don't, they never do. And you leave them there. You know what I mean? So I feel like, maybe he should have had me as his advisor to tell him, listen, bro, we going to different places, we getting more security, and we charging more for these, these conferences.
Yeah, because it's getting hot.
It's getting hot,
Yeah.
and we coming in hot. You know what I mean? And as far as are we living out biblical? Are we matriculating biblical prophecies and things like that? We definitely are, and it will never stop happening. You know what I mean? To me, when these things were written, they were written based on the history of what had already happened. They already knew this stuff was going on. You know what I mean? So now this is an extension. We far removed from that, so the information gets diluted, and we don't. A lot of people don't remember it, and they haven't dug down into the books to understand that this has happened time and time and time again. May not be exactly the same way, but this has happened time and time again. Certain areas, you wonder, why is this place not developed? Because it's been going through war for centuries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like this is just the next version of those same entities. Even in the Bible, they speak of it. These people, brothers, coming against each other. A nation will be formed from you, which will war with this nation throughout the eternity. You're never going to see peace. You're never going to agree. We come in here, Donald Trump will go in there and try to threaten this person or that person. We can have all of these politicians come in here and try to, let's do this and try to, but they're not going to see eye to eye. They will not. The best thing can happen is you get in your corner and I get in my corner and we respect each other. But the more you try to force all of this interaction and intermingling, you're going to have oil and water. It's going to separate every time. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely second a lot of the things that you were hitting on topic. And so, like, I also want to say I smiled only because I figured he was going to talk about the topic too, and because I knew it kind of picked my brain a little bit about the Charlie Kirk thing. So with that, remember that we were talking about those levels to being woke, and It's definitely way more to it. I'm one of them who do believe. I wouldn't say conspiracy because I kind of know, like I feel like what's really going on. It's a person, anybody can speak, and he did speak very well. But there's certain people who, as smart as you may be, you might use one side of your brain but not the other. The feelings, emotions, all of that might be gone. So all your ideology might be on point. You might be able to hit all of that, but in a certain part of your brain, certain people aren't wired to be an all-around person. Like, I can know when I'm making you feel uncomfortable, or I can take certain cues from you. Certain people don't have that. And I feel like, touched on a lot of stuff of like the forbidden things you don't talk about. Religion, sexuality, politics. He was talking about that, race. He talked about it all. And that goes back to him preaching the Bible. Sometimes you believe in the Bible and you know your words have power. There's actually a video that you can look on online when he said he feels like there should be that gun violence and gun deaths are a necessary part to basically help the country evolve. And it just so happened, ironically, that's the way you end up going out. So I definitely feel bad for what happened, but I can't be ignorant to the fact that you really put yourself in this situation. You get what I'm saying? And it's just me, I didn't discuss this with y'all, but I'm actually prior military. I already was looking at the shot placement, the distance. No regular person is making something like that. That's why I'm feeling like it's definitely more than what they tell them, especially not first shot, first try. From over 200 yards, that's a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
Height, distance, you have wind, then to have your sight already sighted in for the distance, it just rubbed me a little weird.
On the first shot too, right?
Yeah, first shot is crazy.
Yeah, shot.
And I've shot with some very amazing shooters.
In the juggler.
And
Right.
being able to get away with only the camera catching.
Yeah.
But then the crazy part, the second that, with the whole conspiracy part, after y'all already picked out 7 different people, which is a certain tactic that they use. You distract everybody so the main person can get away. So I'm gonna bring 7 different random people. By the time I'm on number 5, the real dude already flying to Guam or wherever he supposed to be going. But then now, you just so happen to have somebody took a picture of a guy on the roof. So if you see somebody on the roof with a rifle, you're not telling nobody.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knew. But all of a sudden, video footage, you saw him coming down, jumping down.
Yeah, it's following him. The camera's following him.
Yeah.
You doing all that. Then they say the scope was off. A hunting rifle with the scope off. That means your zero all messed up. Your sighting is messed up. Ain't no way you had time to slap it back on, start adjusting, do all that, and hit first shot, first try. It just don't. It don't come off as normal to me. That's just my little take on it. But back on topic, he definitely pushed a lot of buttons. I feel like. It's just certain things I feel like you can't talk about. And yeah, we have freedom of speech, but we all know that's to an extent.
Right.
You got freedom of speech until it ain't free.
And you got freedom of consequence behind your speech.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
energy you put out, it's gonna come back to you.
Definitely. He said a lot of nasty things about a lot of different topics. Not saying it's right.
I still feel like I wish there was. I don't even wish, but it would be nice if people could allow people to say things that they disagree with and not take it all the way there. You know what I mean? Just okay, I just feel differently. You know what I mean? So like we do from time to time when we don't like agree. You know what I mean? Like I was telling them one time, sometimes you cannot agree with a person and that'll motivate you. When I first met Shafiq, I was we working out and I sat down in the middle of the set. Shafiq said, "I know you new, bro. I know this first time you with me today." And he told the group, "But what don't I like?" Everybody like, "For anybody to sit down." I could have been like, "Man," but I was like, "Oh, okay, so that's what it is. Let's go." You know what I mean? And that's the mentality I feel like people should take with a lot more things in life instead of, "Man, life is over if he disagree with me." You know what I mean?
See that part. I agree with it all, but that one part that you feel like people should do it. But
Right.
remember, we was talking.
That's the
There's
struggle.
levels though.
Yeah.
So everybody ain't made to take it that way. You know what
'Cause
I
they
mean?
don't see it like that yet.
Yeah, if you
Right.
want a high vibration, you moving on another wavelength. We should, always feel like, oh, you should do it that way. That come with everybody.
Right.
But the main problem also I see is you don't know how passionate somebody is about something or how they gonna take it. So your way was voicing it, yelling, getting on the mic, making people feel like they dumb and all this other stuff. That's you showing your passion. Now him showing his passion about how he felt like he wanted to take it another way.
Yeah.
So you got to know your audience. You got to really know. And you projecting to millions of people.
You got to be ready.
You gotta
Right.
be ready.
For
If-
all-
if-
for everything.
you got to be ready. If you're gonna take it there, you got to be ready to know everything that come with it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's a really good point there. Corey, what's your take on the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and the you can also touch on the Palestinian and Gaza conflict if you wish.
Well, I kind
to
of
do
feel like bro right here, like once you make so many different enemies, that is somebody that don't like you that you probably don't even really know
Everywhere
that's
you go.
want to get you. So you open up yourself for this person who been wanting to get you because of some stuff that you don't like about them and you putting out on them, but you got all the other people that don't like you for some other stuff that you saying and the way that you feel about them. So now you just gave this person the perfect opportunity to take you out, and they'll never be blamed for it because all this other stuff going on with you. So like that's a bad thing. I didn't want that to happen to dude. I don't like bad stuff happening, but this is the life that we live. This is what go on. Like we just have to learn a lesson from different situations, and like you speaking on different stuff about people's sexuality, about different religions, about races, about how people made homelessness or things that you feel like people should be wiped out. You got to be careful about what you're saying out here. You got to be careful about what you're doing out here. Because of the day that we living in now, it don't take nothing but for that one little anger or that one little burden to be pushed on somebody with what's already going on. That could be your last day on earth.
Right.
And I know you're very big on religion, right,
Mhm.
and your spirituality.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm very curious as to what is your take on the conflicts in the Middle East, and I mean, you know,
Well, you know, I got to give it to you straight out the Bible in Revelations. If you think about it, you read Revelation, bro, everything that they're talking about in Revelation is happening today, bro. Everything. Bro, I just looked on the news the other day and I seen a 95-year-old lady killed an 89-year-old lady. Bro, it's mothers against daughters out here. It's fathers against sons. It's siblings against siblings. It's man like loving man. It's women loving men. You know what I'm saying? It's famine out here. It's disasters going on in the world. If you don't think that we're living in the last day, then something really wrong. You know, war, rumors of war. All this stuff is going on. Like, I'm just be honest with you. A couple of months ago, probably about three, four months ago, I started feeling something in my spirit. Like, Corey, man, boy, there's something going on in the world right now. And it just was a feeling that came over my spirit, bro. And I told my other guy, that the apartment I should live in, I told him, I said, bro, I can't put my hands on it, bro. But it's something strange going on in the world real bad right now, bro. He like, bro, you right, bro. I even told you. Hey, bro, something going on in the world right now, bro, that is not normal, bro. And it's just like, I'm a strong believer in the word. Like they can water it down, they can try to add, they try to do all these things, but God's word gonna stand. Truth gonna always stand, bro, no matter how they try to do the diminish it or say it ain't true or add to it or take away from it. That truth gonna stand. It's gonna always show itself.
and I'm gonna have us close with some remarks on the possible solutions. It's easy to talk about the problem. You know what I mean? We could sit here and talk about the problems all day. Do we have some possible solutions to these things? Because what you just said, the truth will always remain. I remember I heard a beautiful piece one time about the truth. And the guy said the truth is like an empty jar, right? And the truth is salt, and lies is pepper, right? And let's say you fill up this jar with nothing but salt, right? The jar is full with salt. This is like the world in the beginning, right? It's filled with the truth. Now, if I put a few grain of pepper in there, lies, and you just so happen to spot the pepper in there, the lie is very evident.
Right.
You can't hide it. Everybody's gonna point and say that's a lie, right? Because we're surrounded by the truth. But you add a little bit more pepper in there. You add a little bit more pepper in there. A little bit more pepper. More and more lies, and then it gets mixed up. Hold on, wait a minute. All of a sudden now you can't distinguish
The
the
truth
truth
from
from
a
the
lie.
false. However, did we ever take any salt out of the jar? The truth is still there.
Great analogy.
It just gotta be brought
You
out.
just gotta be. It got to be brought out. You got to find it, because that's how they do it. They're gonna flood the world with lies, so you can't distinguish. But the truth never left. It's here. Somebody's talking about the truth. So what are some solutions to, if there's any, but what are some possible solutions? We're going to close with that. And you could also let the viewers know about some goals that you have going on, some things that you are trying to put together. It doesn't matter if you talk about your career, possible schooling, whatever. Just try to drop some hope on people who are watching it. It's never too late to change your life and do some good things. So Corey, we'll go back to you. We'll start with you.
Well, I want to get into the business asset because I want to be able to bring in revenue because I feel like with revenue, I'm going to be able to bring some people in because I know people need help. And by me helping them with this revenue or this currency, I can also enlighten them to what's going on and to the ones that, not everybody, the ones that wants to be enlightened and to move forward in righteousness and be on the right side of God when all this stuff started just overwhelmed. Come on, let's build our own little thing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna. You're not gonna have to really want for no money. Cause me personally, I like to get money, but I don't cherish money. I get money because I like to help other people. I like to see somebody else with a smile on their face. I like to see somebody else happy. See what I'm saying? So it's just something that's inside me that's driven. I can't even put this fire out. That I got to do what's right and what God tell me to do on the earth. So this is something things I want to do. So that's why I say I'm going to get into the business and find what I can bring me some revenue in, so I can be able to like, okay, come on, you need help. Come on, we're gonna do this.
So you're saying with more money, you'll have more power, and you'll have more capability to find solutions and have solutions.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that. Joel?
Well, for me, I feel like we don't need to look for no solutions.
We don't need no solutions, huh?
No.
Everybody just going to the boat.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I would say that we speaking biblically, right?
Okay.
Times have always taken swings. It's always taken swings. And the man up above has always done something to put it in perspective. You know what I mean? You go to the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah was out of control. Smashed them. The whole earth was out of control. Noah made that ark, smashed the earth. God made this thing. That's just like if I got total control over everything that happened with that pool. And a bunch of people go to jumping in that pool and peeing in the water, doing all type of crazy stuff. That's my pool. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm finna drain the water out of that pool. And I'm gonna clean it out and everything. And those people who love that pool, they're gonna sit to the side and they're gonna watch that pool, and they're gonna watch that pool until the day I put the water back in that pool. And when they get back in that pool, it's more likely gonna be some different people. Cause I'm gonna leave that pool so dry till they die. And then I'm gonna put the water for the next people. You know that saying? Hard times create tough men. Tough men create easy times. Easy times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. Hard times, we going back over again. We going back over. It's evolution. We don't need a solution. All we got to do is you do your part. You live your life the way, to your understanding, and you just stay away from the consequences because the solution is coming. It ain't up to us. The solution is definitely going to come.
Now I do agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. It's kind of like you're speaking on it from a macrocosm,
Right.
right? But if everyone focused on their microcosm as a whole, the solution can be brought about.
Right.
Because we are part of the vehicle that God uses for the solution, right? It's not that everything that he's destroyed or he's fixed, man had nothing to do with it, and he just came and wiped us out. Even down to the example you used in Noah, he saved some and asked Noah to try to save his family. And he told him to build the boat. What if Noah said, no, it's your job, God. You created this. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm sitting back and waiting on you to fix this. No, he ordered him to be a part of the solution. So what I'm saying is, it's just like you sitting in the middle of the road, right? You're not going to sit in the road and just say, God, you're in control. Don't let no car hit me. No, you're going to get up and get out of the way. You're going to do your part to avoid the problem.
Specifically, yes. But, not but. However, in the sense of the analogy that I'm using, me doing what I'm supposed to be doing as far as being a good person, raising my kids, and that's sitting in the road right there. I'm not trying to do the extreme. I'm not trying to do the most. And trust me, Noah could not tell God no. God made Noah. He can't tell him no. God knew he was going to try to say no when he told him to go say, to do that. He knew Moses was going to say, I'm very stumbling up the tongue. I know you're going to say that, bro. But I made you. So go do what I told you to do.
Okay, that's a good point that you're making because essentially you're getting into the dilemma of predestination, right? And that's another topic that we're going to come back to on another day. But I like where you're going with that. I agree. You've made me kind of double back on that. Troy, what's your take? And do you think there's any possible solutions? Do we have any role in the solution process?
As far as possible solutions, honestly, I can't say because in every which way that like while everybody was speaking, I'm getting so many different ideas. Where I'm kind of like, okay, I can see where that's coming from. Okay, I can see where he's coming from. I just feel like we got to start somewhere. It steps to it. It won't be no overnight type of solution. Get better as a whole, get better as a community, better as people. And by community, I feel like we got to stray away from the, well, I'm Latino, well, I'm black, I'm this. As a community, that's everybody as people as a whole. Numbers rule everything. When we got the numbers, all the people higher up trying to play games in our minds, switch up your mental, they can no longer do that. We got the numbers. We thinking on one wave. We on one accord. And that's why I like when you said helping people out because now it ain't just you. It's everybody that you brought in. Now y'all on one wave. You know what I mean? Depending on the people that you bring in. That's just a little something. So, help the community, help the next person. You never know. You could be that bright star in their life. And that'll take something somewhere else. They can help 10 people. 10 people help 10 people and help 10 people. The numbers are really, really stretched far. As far as, positive things in my life, I'm just grateful, man. The viewers may not know this, my uncle. I'm grateful to be here with him. Grateful for y'all being here with me. I got a baby on the way, my first kid. So
Congratulations, bro.
appreciate it. I'm here to break all type of stigma that everybody have on black men. Watch this. I'm gonna be real life Superman.
Like
So.
that.
Right.
I can respect it.
Yeah, real life Superman. So.
Hey, man, that's for all y'all watching, man. Try to emulate this brother right here. He said something very impactful, man. That we got this stigma on us. That, we deadbeats and everybody got to put us on child support. But that's not really the case. We got a lot of things always going against us. Now, I'm not sitting here giving a license for the crappy stuff that we do as black men. We got a lot of slack to pick up now,
That's real.
right? But it's not how a lot of the crazy baby mamas and the system is trying to depict it as. And this brother is a perfect example of that.
I appreciate
There's a lot of brothers like this running around here. You made a very good point, and we'll close with this. One man cannot change the world, but one man can change somebody's world.
Somebody will.
And that somebody can be in a part of the process to change the world.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to bring awareness, if anything, so you can save yourself. Right? So you can be aware of some of the things that maybe you're not aware of before, you weren't talking about, and save yourself. Save your family, save your loved ones, save your kids. If everybody's in line with that, trying to do that, there are more people not being caught up in the oppression. We do want to thank everybody once again for joining us today, man. We had a really good conversation. Tune in next week for the next episode. We haven't decided what that topic's going to be, but we know it's going to be interesting. We like to talk about everything that people don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're going to have fun while we're doing it. Hey, stay tuned for that content that's coming up at the end. We did canvas some community, and we got a chance to talk to some people and see what they thought about a lot of these topics that we're talking about today. Thanks for the viewers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Peace.